teammates qualifying together there, 10th to 5th.
We'll see how they break apart because the lights are showing. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5 lights, it's 5 lights, and they are a go. The drivers, here they are. Jenny Gooch getting a cracking start over Sophia Cookie, managing to get a good start as well, with Mini Carrot coming up on the inside line, and there's Mercedes doing a good job, as well as the McLaren's doing a cracking job. The Mike David getting a 5-second stop-go penalty for a severe collision with Adrian back in P10. Some changes happening across there, and a bit of lag actually by the looks of things, and a safety car has instantly been sent out of the grid. Mike David getting another 5-second stop-go penalty for a severe collision with Adrian. Wonder what's happening here.
I have just looking back through the deployment, and there's not a bit of wreckage on the track. I can see it's an interesting call.
Yeah, they're currently following Mike David at the moment. He does have front wing damage. It's definitely, you can see the massive understeer going through there. He can't overtake Hoonigan just yet. Safety car instantly released. That would probably be for the debris on the main straight. But there is definitely front wing damage for that Red Bull in P12. So an extremely disappointing start for the Red Bull defending world champion. Taking a look across the rest of the field.
At the front, the 2 Williams.
Things staying across the front. The only 2 Williams managing to swap. Most disappointed driver will be the Master, losing 3 positions from his P10 down to P13 in just 1 corner. So poor start from him. Poor start as well from the American driver, Kiwi Slice, who was looking for a good result potentially for his start here at SynergyPWR. And Triggs will be disappointed now out at the back of the grid, looking to try and maintain some great performances for Team Sauber at SynergyPWR. Looks like he's got a bit of front wing damage himself on the right hand side, so perhaps some people now coming into pits to get that replaced while this safety car period is out. Not expecting safety car coming for 3 laps, but safety car out after just 1 corner, so it must have been severe enough to bring the safety car out, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the pitch on my screen, but I think Trickster's something looks okay from the outside camera.
You can see many people coming in for front wing changes though. They've got Hebrew Pam, Master, Trigster, Mike David, Hoonigan and Kiwi Slice all coming for a front wing change. One thing to make note of as well, interesting stuff, a lot of the drivers were caught out by the speed limiter, 4 drivers getting a 5-second stop-go penalty. So quite clearly the drivers were still trying to get used to this manual assisted, no assisted sort of pit entry. Remember, the drivers have got to be able to cope with that themselves. Also make note as well, SynergyPWR employs the use of simulation damage, so it's quite easy to get front wing damage around here, especially around a track such as this. So I'm sure these drivers right at the back will be extremely disappointed. One person that won't be will be Adrian VIII, though, managing to break away from the pack, and in fact has got some, no offence to the drivers in front of him, but what he would consider as back markers. Remember, Adrian managed to get a win at Australia. And so far it's looking all gravy and all good for the Toro Rosso Honda.
Indeed. See what you can do on the mediums though. Are you seeing on the mediums too, or is that just me?
Yeah, no, I'm seeing mediums as well. So
okay.
The Toro Rosso Honda starting on medium tyres. Remember as well, the interesting stuff as the Sophia Cookie gets collided with Mini Carrot, and he gets a 5-second stop go for a collision. So clearly the drivers are not giving each other enough space, and it's definitely implored that the drivers must make sure that they don't keep brake checking all the time, otherwise there will be time penalties given out. So interesting stuff to see what is actually happening up in the field. Hebrew Ham now the biggest loser here. 4 positions lost after the pit stops. Remember, obviously they're all close together. You mentioned about the mediums though. Adrian VIII is an interesting driver because he implores the use of a low fuel mix, as Mini Carrot's now coming into the pits, probably for a front wing change. Adrian VIII is a certain driver who likes to use less fuel. He'll underfuel his car and save throughout the race. So on medium tyres with low fuel, that means the medium stint will last naturally a lot longer. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how those drivers, as the Master has crashed out of the race after a severe collision with Hebrew Ham, according to my screen. So quite clearly something major has cropped up during the safety car period, which may extend the safety car out even further. But the Master has crashed out under the safety car. Ericsson's fault?
Potentially. Part of the race, maybe?
An unusual situation for the Renault, but we're down to 14 runners, and you can quite clearly see at the moment the drivers are struggling to be able to give each other some kind of space. So perhaps race control could step in and for sure warn these drivers, give each other space, stop getting so close with people. It's not cool if you're doing this. So
yeah, no need.
keep our fingers crossed that. Yeah, we'll have to keep our fingers crossed. Safety car period might be extended now due to the Master crashing out right at turn 1. As more front wings, as Hoonigan crashes into the back of Heatproof Ham. So more front wing damage. People are not giving each other enough room, and this is what happens. It's absolute chaos. And there, I'm not being funny, but Jenny Goosh's car on my screen there was doing some kind of Macarena because that lag is horrendous.
Yeah, something in the moment. It's interesting though, with Adrian's choice of tyre, I could have sworn he finished Q2 on softs with his fastest lap. Interesting.
Well,
choice, given
potentially.
he hasn't stopped yet. So,
Well, we are looking at the screens at the moment, and the official timing screen does say that he is on medium tyres that are 2 laps old, and we will confirm that obviously with the stream later on in the session. But if Adrian VIII did start his lap on soft tyres and complete his soft lap in Q2, he would be disqualified. Must remember though, Adrian didn't actually qualify into Q3, so he is permitted to do as he pleases as the lights go green and the drivers are off. So interesting stuff. So Cookie getting a cracking start. In fact, better start than Jenny Goosh, who set everything off. And Mini Carrot getting a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane again. A Sphere Cookie looking for a bit of a dive on the outside, but no move there. Well defended from Jenny Goosh. Cracking stuff from Mongdog as well, down in P4, gaining some cracking positions. Now on the rear end of the Mercedes of Owen Better. Taking a look at the positions change, quite clearly right there, you can see Mike David is gaining buckets of time and now up to P9 with Mongdog up the rear end of Owen Better. We'll skip down to Mike David, current defending world champion, of course, of SynergyPWR People's World Racing from the Invitational season, managing to get the Division 2 title and looking to go around the inside of Adrian VIII. And the 2 sister teams currently in battle, and Mike David overtakes Adrian VIII.
Yeah, very exciting stuff as the racing gets underway.
The car's coming down now the DRS straight. We're on board and following Mike David still at the moment as he's coming up the rear end of Mist Grey. Morgan 4S must make note. Mike David on super soft tyres. The rest of the field looking like they're on a harder compound. Morgan 4S losing grip as Mike David losing grip. Coming through that turn there. Rear end grip is clearly a problem for that Red Bull. Did you manage to catch that?
No, I did miss that, but that section of track there is horrible.
Very slippy. Yes. Yeah, very slippy, isn't it? I think in my experience it has been as well. Taking a look around the rest of the field as well at the moment as Jenny Goosh naturally sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Morgan 4S, apologies, is in the pits. Overtake coming over for Mike David on Mist Grey. You can see there, it's Renault versus Tag Heuer Renault Power. Around the outside, so you can have the inside Mike David overtaking, and it's a great move from the Red Bull, who manages to go 9 places above where he started. He's in P6. We take across the rest of the field as well. Mongdog's still in a battle at the moment. Taking a look around down into the back of the pack as Heatproof Ham is coming on a bit of an overtake potentially on Trigster. Both know each other in real life, these 2 drivers, obviously looking for a bit of a rivalry here. That back end stepping out massively for the Sauber, and the McLaren managed to gain time on him, but having to sprake up suddenly there. Battle happening for Miss Grey going massively wide through that turn there, and there goes Mongdog up on the outside. Will he be able to overtake the Renault? It's looking close. It's looking very close. Mongdog's got the inside line, but decides not to go for it and breaks under those conditions, and Miss Grey going wide again, but managing to keep P6. Cracking job there from him. Mike David going up on the inside. He's gaining positions left, right and centre is Mike David, and he gets it. It's P4 for the Red Bull driver. He's just absolutely driving through all of them. There goes Paradise Bear on the attack around on the outside potentially of the final couple of corners. And can he keep it in the track boundaries? No, he can't. Mike David dictates to him where he goes, and that is it. It's Mike David's P4. Cracking work from Mike and the defending world champion, but it's looking like a bit of an overtake again for Paradise Bear on the McLaren. Looking incredibly close and intense battling at the moment between the 2 Renault powered cars. It's potentially a switch battle. There's definitely some touching. Bit of contact there. Mike Davis having to escape the track limits to take that position, and surely that position has got to be returned to Paradise Bear. I'm not so sure. He's coming up on the inside again, coming through turn 4. Still they battle through here. Some great battling between the two Renault powers, but I think that might just be it for that battle. As Mike David knows, losing that rear end though. You can see how close it is as Mini Carrot goes fastest lap of the race with a 31.4, cracking lap time from the young driver of the season last season. Remember, he's going to have DRS Paradise Bear, so there's potentially a bit of another overtake on. Remember, look behind him there, Mist Grey looking for an overtake potentially on the car there as well, so it's looking intriguing. You see how close it is between those drivers. Could be three-way into that turn at the end of the DRS straight, but here comes Paradise Bear. Maybe a dive bomb. No, there isn't, and I think that might just me very close indeed, and now it's down to Miss Gray to decide if he can navigate around the McLaren of Paradise Bear, but the damage you can see there is extreme dirty air, which is causing some massive understeer on that Renault.
Quickly
intriguing
away
racing.
from the there. While he breaks that battling moment with Paradise Bear.
Another battle happening as well currently for P7. Adrian VIII, obviously on a leaner mixture to try and save fuel, is currently being overtaken by X-Trigster in the Sauber, the Ferrari power versus Honda power, and right there you can quite clearly see it's getting incredibly close.
Yeah, definitely saving fuel is Adrian. I mean, Trigster's gone already. Definitely, yeah. Going for the longest stint on his mediums.
So the question here is, of course, will there be a problem with Adrian? Is he going to play the long game, and will the long game work? He is on medium tyres, and with lower fuel mixture comes responsibility. He's got to be sure to keep up the pace, and right now he is not doing so. The Renault now getting close up the Paradise Bear. It's Renault versus Renault power again. His DRS is wide open for the Renault. Keep an eye on the battle. Silver Surfer for P5.
Yeah, indeed, everything's hotting up. Bit of a train forming there with Paradise Bear, Mix Grey and Trigster all in the mix. Adrian VIII will be looking to get in on that as they start to fight it out. P5. There's no better know. 3 second time penalty. And Mike David retiring. Not quite sure where he's
And Mike
gone.
David. Wow, Mike David crashing. No, I just saw it there. We managed to catch it on the stream as we'll return to that crash in just a second. And there it comes the Sauber. You can see how close it is for P4. Mike David crashed out, by the way. Found out which corner it was. It was the corner that was a bit slippy.
Yep, that's the one I knew. He had some people out. Paradise Bear with a time penalty. Stop go. And Williams, though, battling out through the third sector. Mongdog versus Morgan Forest. Making swings at one another there.
Must say it's impressive stuff so far. It's a real shame Mike David now still without points in the league so far.
Yeah, Red Bull not doing so well at the moment.
Sorry, you'll have to repeat that. I've had a bit of a technical issue at the moment with my headset. We're back up and running, I think, now.
No problem. We're just commenting on the Red Bull situation across the league, really. Not a great showing for them in Australia. Now only one car in Bahrain retiring, and only one driver managed to get points for Division 1 with Red Bull. So they upped their game a little bit.
It's clearly, yeah, they took their game a little bit. 2 races in, and Red Bull's still not able to get off the mark. Real shame so far for Mike David, current defending world champion, and he's losing horrendously at the moment, to put it politely. It's big news as well. I'm very happy for people like Adrian VIII and Sophia Cookie, who's obviously looking to battle for the World Championship at the moment. And we're now starting to see things form, but we are looking at a battle potentially for P7. As Heatproof Ham is coming up the rear of Kiwi Slice. Won't mind hear you commentating on this particular battle, because it could be happening.
But indeed, he's approaching him. He's going to probably have that ERS. Looks like he's got the 7-9 at the moment. Not much drainage there. The 8th gear approaching the American, and then Mercedes gaining big time into that first corner under the braking zone, but losing out slightly through 2 and 3, dropping back a little bit. Maybe this could be a slow burner, this battle. Keep tuned in with that one as Mongdog now going fastest. Oh, and then Kiwi goes wide into turn 4, allowing him to down a pass with ease. Have to see if the American can keep on the back of the McLaren.
Quite clearly, obviously, outbroke himself out of turn 4, and that led into that mistake, and Kiwi Slice will be very disappointed, leaving P7 to be eaten up and gobbled up quite nicely by Hippofan. Big battle happening for P10 at the moment, as the McLaren and the Williams are currently under a bit of a battle at the moment. Looking at this battle with P10, and you can see how close it is, and there's definitely some contact between Morgan 4S and Paradise Bear. And I tell you, it's getting incredibly heated between that McLaren and the Williams Mercedes. ERS and DRS have opened for Paradise Bear. Coming up to P10, he's going to have an opportunity. Morgan 4S on my screen currently on medium tyres, and faster tyres for Paradise Bear, and he's not being able to manage that gap well, but he's going for an overtake now. It could be happening. It could be happening.
I think it is. Oh, it's very
definitely a touch. Definitely contact there, that's for sure. Taking a look, and they see there, that contact there has brought Mini Carrot straight into the mix.
Yeah, there's a little pack forming here at the back, 10 through 13. Worth noting as well, Trigster up into position 4, 10 places above his starting position, and he's had a pit stop. So, good strategy at play for him, I think.
Fantastic drive there, going up back to the battle for P2 though at the moment. As you see, Jenny is getting up the rear end of Owen Bettino. Incredibly close battling here between the Haas and the Mercedes. Jenny will be very disappointed with P3 at the moment, obviously having got pole position.
With that back end sliding out a little bit there, size not quite up to it at the moment.
It's worth noting that both on a set of soft tyres, and I think Owen Bettino is showing better usage of those softs, so fingers crossed they won't become a massive issue. Another person climbing through the rankings at the moment is Mini Carrot. He's doing a cracking job, the young driver of the season in the Sauber, and he's looking for a cheeky little overtake for the first point in the round of 10. But the first port of call is getting around Paradise Bear, and he's going to have DRS, and he has ERS available to use. So an overtake potentially for the Sauber.
I think when it goes in, I don't think it's going to happen here. Perhaps at the start of the
trying to take as much track as possible.
It's so careful from here because it is lethal, as Mike David showed us.
Yes, taking a look at the moment, obviously at SynergyPWR, and taking a look at the sort of history of this track. We can take a look back at Lucas F1706, the Australia Grand Prix winner in Division 1. Now the Division 1 driver span out of turn 6 back in the Invitational season, so it's clearly not just the corner where Mike David spun out, so it's lethal corners across the whole of this track. It's dangerous. Paradise Bear climbing through the curb like that's not going to do his car any favours. Mini Carrots losing time again on that battle. We'll return to that battle shortly. We are going back to the battle for P2 at the moment, as the Haas driver of Jenny Ghosh is getting even closer to the Mercedes of Owen Bettino.
Trigster goes straight on at the end of the second DRS straight. Oh no, a bit of lag.
Looks like a bit of lag appearing there, as Mongdog has spun his car at turn 5. I was talking about turn 5, turn 6 being incredibly slippery, and right there is just a prime example of it happening. And Mongdog, in a great battle and doing a great job, is now back to where he started and further than that. So real shame for the Williams driver.
In mediums, and the finished race on them, I think.
Yeah, I perfectly agree with you on that one. Mediums to the end of the race, I would suggest, for Mongdog as well. Disappointing for the Williams driver, and disappointing for Williams in general, who are backing up the back of the grid so far in this race at Bahrain in round 2 of the SynergyPWR People's World Racing Invitational, round number 2. And you can see there Mongdog spinning his car again, going through the turn where Mike David crashed. So the two corners we were literally talking about as being a problem for spinning. And he spun again.
Definitely. It's like ice.
It is like ice. The tyres are cold. He needs to get in, get a set of mediums on. That's what I would suggest, and I think we are both right in saying so. Question is, though, he's 16 seconds down after those 2 spins. Will it work?
He's not going in. He's staying out.
It's a risky call. Utilise the biggest, most amount of life on the super softs, I guess.
Trickster, is that just lag for me? Are you seeing them off track? Oh no, they're back
I'm seeing
on now.
Paradise. I'm seeing Paradise Ben doing a good job. I think it might just be a bit of lag on your screen there, buddy. They're still following though the battle, talking of the McLarens though. And Paradise Bear is now closing up on Mini Carrot. Looking like a bit of a battle as Trigster has left the session, so fingers crossed they'll be able to reconnect, and as does Heatproof Ham for that matter. So the two guys who live, I believe, live with each other are experiencing internet connection issues.
I don't know if it's me or them at this point. Could be me, given that you're seeing them still running. I mean, I am now, but they're getting off track for me.
They have an awkward situation. Hopefully they'll be able to reconnect as soon as they can. I'm sure it's news ringing into the ears of Mini Carrot 22, who's wanted to close down the gap on P8. And so much so for Paradise Bear, who wants to try and outrace his teammate currently in P10. So big news all around, that's for sure, and big news for Hooligan as well, who obviously wants to get points on the board in his first race, and at this rate might just be able to do so.
Miss Gray is going to be looking to capitalise on the selected scout up ahead. Well,
yes, taking a look at Miss Gray in the Renault. Yeah, number 73 Renault doing a cracking job as the spin out again in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Trying to figure out who that's for, and it's for Mong Dog again at the same corner.
That guy needs to get those mediums on, I think. This is doing him no good at all.
Yes, unfortunate circumstances. 41 seconds down the field now after 3 spins now, and there he goes again. Oh, he holds it. Come into the pits, get a set of mediums on, and he's just going to have to do it. He's got no choice now, really, has he? He might even choose to retire his car. We'll have to see. But he is in the pits.
Still holding P4 as well, just about Miss Gray looking for the overtake of a go-to car into the final corner. The trick's to be able to come back and take it back. Still not a big problem yet. Actually, 8th eyeing up this opportunity as well. P6 chasing down the trickster now. P5. Miss Gray makes the move stick. Looking at the pit stops, those top 4 still haven't stopped yet, so it'll be interesting to see where they're going to look at making that happen. Pretty soon I would have thought, probably onto some mediums, maybe onto a risky super soft perhaps.
Following the rest of the cars at the moment, and Paradise Spare has spun his car out at T1. He's going to be spinning out of a P10, he's down to P11. McLaren struggling on those softs, and they're not looking healthy either.
Hooligan takes the opportunity and takes P10 now, that final point. Mongdog now, as we thought he would do, now on the mediums, but now over a minute behind his teammate.
So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to pick up the time. Taking a look though at the battle for P4 as Trickster has returned into the session, as has Heatproof Ham. Miss Gray going really wide for that corner and gets a 5-second stop go for his troubles, and has to go around on the rear end, does Trickster. It's going to be DRS.
Yeah.
It's going to be DRS and ERS as they both come into the pits.
Oh, very close. Trying to get in there and change
Trickster to make sure there's no damage there. But in they come. Question is, who's going to come out in front? It's looking going to be. It's going to be close, you know.
Looks like Trickster. Could have a bit of a pit stop glitch for Trickster or not. I think my game is very glitchy at this point.
We're following Trickster at the moment, and no, he's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Keeping a firm eye, by the way, on Heatproof Ham. Hasn't reconnected into the session yet, but Trickster has, so bit of a weird situation there. Currently, the two Mercedes are now battling it out.
Yeah.
I know the two Mercedes now battling it out at the moment. Owen Better now in front on a set of mediums, and currently losing buckets of time on these driver in his co-compatriot Team Mercedes. Kiwi Slice, the USA driver, American driver, doing a cracking job at locking his tyres up, and you can see the wear on that front left tyre. Can certainly say that tyre has now come to the end of its life.
Pit. Mercedes. Just noting Triggs'
just
connection
be, you know.
there is definitely seeing full back from the leaders. Still could be managing to put quite a few cars between him after the pit stop.
Yes, yes, taking a keep firm eye though on Hoonigan 403 at the moment, who 13 laps to go, currently P9 in the session.
Jenny comes into the pit now. Back out on mediums to the end, by the looks of things. Kiwi Slice is getting a 5% stop and away from speeding in the pit lane.
Speeding in the pit lane obviously causes penalties, and unfortunately for them they get a penalty, and we're taking a look now as Hoonigan gets even closer to Trigster in the Sauber at the moment. Looking very close.
Adrian VIII though, P1.
Yes, set of mediums that he starts. It is on from the start, so he still is to pit.
It is, yeah, it's coming up soon.
It will be coming up soon, I reckon probably 10 lap supers. He is well within super soft range.
He is, yeah.
Super soft probably around about 10 laps, so depends what he wants to do, but if he does pit now, he will come out around about P6, but will be on the faster tyre. The question is, does he have enough fuel?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Should imagine he'll be coming into the pits within the next sort of 3 laps. The Toro Rosso Honda doing a good job, but currently it is a Toro Rosso Honda 1-2. But Sviatkoki again, fastest lap of the race, 1:30.3, and is closing that gap on Adrian VIII, the current leader.
The consistent stuff from Adrian, seeing him lead 2 races in a row now, very good. Improve how managing to get back into his car by the looks of things. Lap 17 for Bahrain Grand Prix. SynergyPWR's officials first season. Adrian VIII now
Just
dropping back, potentially giving the pace to his
teammate. On the Firmeye sector 3, yellow flags are waved, trying to figure out what that is for, but at the moment we're keeping a firm eye on the battle for Mist Grey. Currently in P8, looking to slow that gap down to Hoonigan in P7. The Super Soft's doing him some justice and giving him plenty of grip, but will be wearing through them really badly if he outbrakes himself through corners such as that one there, coming through then the sweeping left-hander, which is disgusting in my opinion. I think you can never really get it spot on.
No.
DRS wide open.
Just, yeah, as my thoughts serve me well, Hoonigan's guys, I think looking on the onboard of Vince Gray, they do appear to be playing a little bit 13 lap old now, those mediums.
Indeed they are. We will take a look at the tyres at the moment, so you can see there Miss Gray looking to take his laps around, taking his tyres around about 14 or so laps. The Super Softs will maybe last 14 laps, but it is a bit tricky, but you can clearly see gaining that time massively on Hoonigan, and he's going to be opening his DRS and will take that position from the Ferrari. Question is, how easy will the battle be? Very easy is the answer.
Yes. Oh, but there goes
a bit of a dive bomb from Hoonigan.
A
Bit of a dive bomb to try and protect that, but no, it didn't work, and Miss Gray saw it coming, and a bit of an under and over, my favourite overtaking manoeuvre.
Indeed, very important. Now takes P7. Trickster is up next, 3 seconds up the road.
Battles will commence for Mist Grey very, very soon. Trickster, the next person to be at the brink of losing their position. He is on new mediums though, so those mediums are fairly fresh and at the start of their life, so it's not like it's dire consequences. My question is, it's not whether Miss Grey catches up, it's what Trickster can catch up on, because at this moment in time he's going to be able to catch up on, not taking a look at this specifically, Heatproof Ham, 16-lap-old mediums, and Adrian VIII, 17-lap-old mediums, and still needs to pit.
Right, I definitely think I would have been allowing it. Was looking at that one dog on the blue flag, the nine Trickster past, Mr. Grey, and Hooligan.
Impressive stuff, that's for sure. 10 laps to go at the SynergyPWR People's World Racing round number 2 at the Season 1 event here at Bahrain. And impressive stuff under the desert skies as the Sauber of Trigster has currently lasted himself as P4 as Kiwi Slice gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Really intriguing stuff as the rest of this battle goes on. On board with Heatproof Ham at the moment, 17-lap-old mediums. Usually roundabout okay around about this lap, but it will become apparent that these tyres are going to be an issue as Paradise Bear and Hoonigan have come into the pits. And Hoonigan has managed to get in front of Paradise Bear, but currently is now P11 on a set of super soft tyres to the end of this race.
Hoonigan out for their third stop, hopefully their final one. Look out as well on 3 stops.
Have to keep our fingers crossed that that works here for this Bahrain race. On board with Spear Cookie at the moment.
Adrian's tactic might be now.
Well, he can't go to the end. It's not allowed under the FIA rulings to stay to the end of these races. You know, as impossible as it might be, it's illegal. He has to come into the pits. He has to change his tyres. The question is, when is he coming in? Because he is coming in for super softs. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter of when he's coming in.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing
Trigster
up on his dash there, so
Trigster has managed to just overtake Heatproof Ham for P5. So I was mentioning about, not necessarily about when Miss Grey is going to be able to take Trigster, but when is Trigster going to be able to take over Heatproof Ham, and it's just happened. Those 18-lap-old mediums now becoming a significant problem, I think, for the McLaren. Potentially an opportunity for him to pit now. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think Adrian's going to have to do it soon, because the longer he stays out, the further back he will reappear after coming into the pits.
5-lap-old super softs currently for Miss Grey. They're now going to be coming towards the end of their life, and it may become a problem for Miss Grey to get as close as possibly can to Heatproof Ham. And with 9 laps to go, we'll have to see if it happens. Here comes Mini Carrots, number 22 in the Sauber at the moment, currently P10 and less than a second behind the American driver of Kiwi Slice. And Team Mercedes, perhaps you clearly see there, is getting really up close and personal as Adrian VIII has come into the pits. We'll get back to that one shortly to see where he comes out of, but it's an overtake potentially opportunity for the Sauber. Not close enough just yet, but the big chunk of dirty air sorts him out right there. Real shame. Adrian VIII currently trying to pit now. He's leaving the pits. Miss Grey now overtaking him as well. The Adrian VIII will be returning right now in P7 from P2, so not too sure whether he's happy with that result, but he is going to be on the fastest tyres out of anyone on this track. So it's going to be interesting to see how the next 8 laps develop for Adrian VIII. With Mini Carrot, as I was talking about earlier, just managed to overtake Kiwi Slice at the final turn.
Yeah, just looking ahead, we're going to go as fastest with a 1:30.005.
And he's just a little bit more, now a little bit less than a second behind Kiwi Slice, and potential DRS opportunity is arising for the Ferrari, and it's certainly definitely an opportunity for Ferrari driver Hoonigan to get his first points in SynergyPWR. Cracking opportunity is arising right there.
The runners in front of Adrian, their tyre choices. We've got the top 5 all on mediums, with Adrian bringing up the rear on some fresh super soft, so some potential there for some gain. How far he'll go.
Potentially.
To
Potential stuff here, as I think there's definitely been really close and up personal there between the Hoonigan and Kiwi Slice. Looking like a real opportunity happening for P10 in that final spot on the board. And, oh no, that's definitely a collision there between Hoonigan and Kiwi Slice, and Hoonigan has to take full responsibility for that collision. And I think he realises his mistake right there. And he's realised his mistake right there and is returning the position, but regardless, the damage is done. And Hoonigan actually retiring from the session, a rage quit for his mistake, but regardless, he will be in trouble for that mistake. Quite clearly, a little bit of greed appeared in his eyes, the Ferrari driver choosing to retire on track.
Yeah,
I wonder if you managed to catch that,
Silver. I missed that, unfortunately. I saw him facing the Ferrari after... facing the Mercedes after spinning them out, but yeah, I didn't actually see the contact, unfortunately.
Yeah, extremely disappointing stuff from Hoonigan, because he wasn't having that bad of a race, but greed appeared in his eyes, and therefore he ended up taking that dive bomb, and it was a ridiculous move, and Kiwi Slice may just lose out on a points finish because of it. Really feeling really sorry for that Mercedes driver, if anything. It actually reminded me very much actually of the overtake Kimi Raikkonen tried to do, funnily enough, against the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton at Britain. Just a dive bomb on the inside and a collision due to the driver taking the racing line. So it's very reminiscent of that actual overtake at Britain.
It would have been nice to Kimi and rage quitted as well, wouldn't it?
Well, it technically has, hasn't he? Rage quit out of Ferrari straight to Sauber. Alongside, as recently announced, Antonio Giovinazzi. That's going to be an interesting pairing next season.
Indeed. That's news for me.
Mistake from Miss Gray, allowing Paradise Bear through. So if Miss Gray continues with these mistakes on these now fresh super soft tyres, he may start to struggle against Kiwi Slice.
We did now open its time past the Morgan. Picks are up next. 11 seconds up the road. Apart from that, it's quite a spaced out grid, isn't it?
It's quite a spaced out grid at the moment, but I think regardless it's been full of action and definitely an intriguing one as regards of the tyre choices. And I'm thinking, taking a look back now, Miss Gray will be grievously disappointed if it takes P10, considering how young his super softs are. And we're increasingly disappointed if he makes another mistake as Kiwi Slice, and there goes Miss Gray!
Oh, there it does go!
I was literally talking about Miss Gray making a mistake, and he will be grievously disappointed because Kiwi Slice noms that P10 straight back. We were literally just talking about that, Silver Surfer. What are the chances?
Well, you know what? Whenever you asked me previously who I think might win a race, I've always told you and then it crashed. So I know better than most.
Well, I'm sure you told me earlier you thought... sure you told me earlier off camera Mike David was going to be the winner, yeah?
Yeah, I think I said it was Mike David who was going to be the master on the podium. And look at the result.
Sector 2, Sector 3 as Miss Gray has crashed out. In fact, I think he might have retired from the session. We will stay on board with Mondog to see what the situation is, but Miss Gray clearly very cross with his performance, and the Renault driver has pulled off to the side and has retired out of this session. He is extremely disappointed.
Yeah, I think at this stage of the race, retiring probably isn't as much of a rage quit as it is just, you can't really do a lot. So, off to bed, I think.
Off to bed for Miss Gray, says Silver Surfer. We'll have to see, but Mondog will be extremely happy with his performance. I think regardless of these spins that he's had, he's a minute and 30 down. But regardless, the guy continued on, and he has to be well respected for doing it, you know?
Indeed, onwards and upwards. Never give up. You never know what's going to happen on the road.
Just taking a quick look, actually, sorry, at the Trigster in the Sauber. 3 seconds of difference on equally as old tyres to Jenny Gauche. But Adrian VIII is on super soft tyres, 10 seconds. And I don't think he's saving fuel anymore because those revs are going all the way to the top. So, is Adrian VIII looking potentially to close down that gap in the next 4 laps? It's entirely possible.
Indeed, yeah. Mediums versus super softs, so which one I put mine on. 10 seconds, it's a big gap.
10 seconds is a huge gap in Formula 1. The question is, will he be able to close it? It's possible.
It is. Looks like a sphere cookie running away with it at the moment. 13 seconds. It's those two up the top there.
Got a lot of support here for Adrian VIII, actually, simply because he did a fantastic job in SynergyPWR last season and continues to do a good job this season, of course, receiving his Volunteer of the Season award. And he well deserved of it, of course. And it's looking very close, like he's going to be able to close that gap down to 9 seconds. But I don't think he's gaining fast enough. He needs to gain by, it's probably going to be around about 2.5 seconds a lap, and at the moment he's just not achieving that. So it's not looking like an option for Adrian to get P4. But regardless of considering his position in the grid, P11, P5 is a fantastic result.
Indeed, yeah. Any position gain is a good one. More points to take home for the team. Actually, it's looking like he's coming home for a first place. It's the 35 points for the team, not bad.
Just coming up now with Heatproof Ham. As you can see right there, Morgan 4S decided to go 20 laps now on his medium tyres, and it is possible to do 20 laps and more for that matter on the medium tyres, but the McLaren driver doing a cracking job, 3-lap-old super softs, and he's taking buckets of time out of the Williams driver in front of him. And I'm telling you now, that McLaren could be snapping P6 straight out of Morgan's hands.
More likely. Young tyres versus the old slow mediums. No contest, really.
No contest at all. Calls Silver Surfer as we see Heatproof Ham crash out of the race. He doing a cracking job, Heatproof Ham, to be fair, on those super soft tyres. He's doing a really amazing job at closing down that gap. You can see right there, it's down to less than a second, and in fact he'll be able to take possibly DRS. Obviously if he keeps that gap closed down as he crosses now, it's 8.8 of a second, so it's going to be DRS for the McLaren, and an opportunity here to close down that gap even further on Morgan 4S. I don't think an opportunity to overtake just yet, but DRS is wide open for the McLaren Renault team. With 2 laps to go, P6 is still not decided.
Indeed. Play for.
All to play for indeed, and it looks like possibly the next DRS zone is the place to be for this next overtake, possibly on Morgan 4S against the Heatproof Ham, who is doing a cracking job in number 85, helping out SynergyPWR by setting up more social media for the accounts, and he's going to come now, and you can see right there, he's looking like an easy overtake there on the Williams. The Super Softs working their magic, and I cannot see the Williams being able to defend that at all. He is trying, and he's going around the outside, and he is coming back round, and he's hogging the inside line. He can dictate where Ham goes, but Ham keeps that nose in front, and there we go. It's that overtake there. Is he going to go around the outside of turn 4? He's trying to, and he's trying to utilise as much space as he can, but Heatproof Ham still up on the inside, coming through to, and he just backs off. He's got plenty of time to do it. No, I'll tell you what, that is some really good battling.
Yeah, very good indeed.
Maybe a bit of a dive up on the inside. Bit of a dive up on the inside. No opportunity there just yet. Maybe the next DRS zone for Heatproof Ham. He's just letting that go, so you can get a good exit. Slow in, fast out. So McLaren goes. DRS wide open, and it's probably going to be the highest possible engine mode and electric settings. And there you see right there Morgan 4S trying to go around the outside, but then the lag setting in for the Williams driver. But that is it, I think, for the Williams driver. 22-lap-old mediums. He did a good job to defend it, to be fair to him.
Yeah, fair play.
Really good racing.
Those old tyres.
Really good racing. I was talking earlier about Trigster. I just want to confirm, Trigster at the moment has an engine problem. Take a look at the back of that Ferrari engine Sauber, and you can see that is some smoking engine, that, isn't it?
It is. It takes P3 somehow from Jenny. Perhaps one of the overtake was committed at some point.
Not too sure, but Trigster has... Trigster... Oh, there's definitely damage for the two Ferrari. definitely there. You can see, I'm just on board with Trickster early. You can hear the cracking of the engine as it comes down the gears. You can hear there's definitely a technical fault. We will return to that battle shortly, but we're going to just follow SynergyPWR as he comes across the line to win this by 16.9 seconds, which is a cracking race for the number 88 Toro Rosso Honda driver, and it's a Toro Rosso 1-2 as regards of the wins, and he crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Not yet, we're one lap short. I feel like that guy at Canada now. You know, they flash the checkered flag to you.
Yeah, anyway.
No, not too sure. It does mean, though, we have more action track and potentially for Jenny Gooch, which unfortunately has got the red line glitch, has appeared its head again here. But Trigster, as you'll see when he breaks down now, listen to this. There's a horrible crackling coming from the back of that Sauber at the moment, and you can hear and see the smoking engine coming to the back of that Alfa Romeo Sauber. It's not the first time we've seen this. Obviously, Flamer experienced the same issues, didn't you? Or was it Belgium? Yeah, Spa de Francorchamps, when he was racing at the time for, was it Haas or was it Sauber? I can't remember off the top of my head. But he experienced the same problems and therefore ended up he retired anyway because he received a puncture, I think, in the end. So it was a really unfortunate circumstance. But out of the back of that engine, you see Trigster is experiencing some real issues, but he's able to keep that lead ahead of Jenny Gooch, so he's going to be able to win the race. But we will go back now and go back to SynergyPWR, who's taking the final few corners, who will definitely now take the checkered flag here at Bahrain. Congratulations to Toro Rosso Honda. It's back-to-back wins for them. 17.6 seconds up the road is Owen Bettineau looking for a good result here. The number 95 Mercedes doing a cracking job taking the final couple of corners, and Mercedes get their first few points on the board, if I remember correctly, and takes P2. Congratulations to him. Trigster now following up with a completely, I always say up north, knackered engine, and there he takes P3 and then reduced to P4 after Jenny Gooch ends up taking it after penalties and finishing 19 minutes down the board. Apparently, I highly doubt that's a thing, so we will double check that result and be sure to get that mentioned. Results and still battling happening up here as Mini Carrot makes a mistake around Morgan 4S, and it's a significantly younger tyres, 9 laps, potentially a bit of a dive bomb up on the inside as there's definitely some damage for Morgan 4S there, but it was a move that Mini Carrot could make, and he takes that P7 right out of his hands.
Yeah, it's just keeping an eye on Trigster's result. He keeps tumbling down there. There's some kind of issue with his timing, definitely.
The Sauber drivers' engines are definitely a problem, because you see there, Trigster has also got a problem with his engine. So I don't know if it was just a Sauber dedicated issue, but currently he's 18.5 minutes down, so we will confirm where he finished a little bit later on. We will confirm in the classified results later on this week, tune into the SynergyPWR website, synergypwr.tk, and check out our news section where we will confirm where he finished. But we're going on to the podium ceremony. And there he has it. Right there, it is SynergyPWR as your winner. The number 88 Toro Rosso gaining back-to-back podiums for the Honda team. Congratulations to him and the rest of the field for a great race overall, must be said. Silver Surfer, how did you feel about the race?
Yeah, exciting stuff, some great battles. And, yeah, fair play to Trigster. 11 places to finish P3. Smashing stuff, or potentially P4. Not quite sure what happened with the penalties there, but yeah, exciting race all around. Fun to commentate.
No, as always, really fun to commentate alongside you, of course, Silver Surfer, but there are the results right there. We will confirm exactly what the situation is as regards of Trigster, because according to this, he finished 90 minutes down the road. But you can see there, Heatproof Ham also finished 20 minutes down the road, so we will confirm their final positions, and we'll let you know of the official grid. But what we do know is that SynergyPWR is the winner of this SynergyPWR race here at Bahrain. feel free to check out our news section, SynergyPWR.tk, for the latest information. And don't forget to tune in next week, where we're going to be here for China. But if you want more Bahrain action, we are going to be here for the Division 1 race with Wood Scorb and Adrian VIII in the commentary box. So, until then, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.